Hi everyone! Welcome to Artsonia's After School Art Club. Today, we have a fun art project from Miss Johnson, an art teacher from North Carolina. Hope you enjoy the video and don't forget to have your artwork uploaded to your Artsonia gallery.
Hello, my name is Miss Johnson, and today I'll be showing you how to do the hanging tile version of the animal and nature tile. For this activity, you'll need this worksheet, 2 to 5 pounds of clay, canvas or other fabric that won't stick to clay, a needle tool or paper clip, a wooden rib or other flat wooden tool, and slip. Optional materials include a modeling tool and rolling pin. To begin with, you'll want a sheet of canvas or other fabric that won't stick to the clay, and about 5 pounds of clay, or I like to think of it as 2 fists worth of clay. First of all, we're going to flatten this clay down to a sheet about the size of a piece of paper. You can either use your hands to push it down, you can also use a rolling pin if you have one. Make sure you flip the clay occasionally to allow it to roll out more evenly. If you have air bubbles that start to form, you'll want to scratch them out lightly with your needle tool or paper clip. This is a bit more clay than I need, so I'm going to cut some out. Checking my thickness, I have it about 2 pencils, and I want to get my clay between 1 to 2 pencils. So I could go with this length, but I'd rather have a thinner slab personally, so I'm going to roll it out a little bit more. Checking the thickness, it's about a pencil width thick, which is perfect for what I'd like. So I'll put this to the side to let it firm up. While I'm waiting for that to thicken up, I can use my worksheet to design my tile. On this worksheet, I already have the dimensions I need for the tile, my 4 crosshairs that'll help me make an interesting composition, and the 3 different styles I can make. For this video, we're going to start off with hanging tile, which is the simplest. But right now, I'm going to draw my design. I chose to put the cat's eyes at the 2 crosshairs on the bottom. I left the 2 crosshairs at the top blank. I'm going to make the cat down here the part that's raised, such as this tile where it comes up like a cookie would on top. I cut my tile out of the worksheet. This will make it easier for me to make this square shape. Before I do anything to my tile, I want to use a rib to help condense the particles to make it stronger and also make the surface smoother. As you can tell, I have little bumps on here. So I can either take the flat side or the curved side and drag it down across the clay. I want to do the same thing to the other side. If I've drawn my tile in number 2 pencil very darkly, I'll be able to do a graphite transfer by laying it down and using the rib to rub the graphite and transfer it onto the clay. If your clay is too wet, this might cause the paper to rip. I also want to draw a line where my tile would end. There, my cat image is transferred. And I can go over it with my needle tool because I'll be cutting it out anyways. Next, I want to make the flat tile shape. This is where a ruler will come in handy. I can use the ruler and carefully cut a straight line. I can also make marks where my holes will go. Now I'll be cutting out the cut shape as well. If I make a mistake, it's as easy as erasing it with my finger. So don't worry about making mistakes. Most of them can be fixed. To attach any two objects of clay, I need to scratch and slip. So I'm going to take the back of my cat tile and scratch it up. I don't need to go too deep. I just need a surface area for the slip to hold on to. It's kind of like how Legos work. They have those little grooves that hold on to one another, so I'm making grooves for this to hold on to. Now I'm going to outline where my cat will be, so I can know where I should slip and score. Now I know I should slip and score here, but if I miss and go in a place I don't want to, all I have to do is take my finger and smooth it. And I can continue scratching and slipping. Now that I have both sides scratched up or scored, I can take my slip, which is really watered down clay. I prefer to use a tool to apply it, although you can apply it directly with your fingers. You want to make sure you get the whole area while not using an excessive amount. Imagine it's kind of like glue. Alright, now that I'm happy with this, I'm going to take my cat shape and carefully apply it. If you first apply it and you don't get it quite right, like maybe say that, don't worry too much. You can pick it right back up and readjust it. After you have it where you want it, you want to lightly press it down to help get that air out. Now that my cat is attached, I want to more thoroughly make my holes. I don't want to make them too close to the edge because then it could break through the clay. Now I want to check the back of the holes. They're much smaller, so I also need to make them bigger here. I also want to put my signature back here. For most people, their signature are their initials, which is totally fine. My preferred signature is a Japanese character that means diary, so that's what I'll be putting on that today. One last look at the front, clean up all my edges. While this is a nice low relief, now I can add even more details. Like I think I'd like to have some whiskers. And again, if I'm not happy with something, it's as easy as erasing it by just blending it. The key thing at this point is to make sure your clay doesn't dry out, because once it's dry, it's very hard to change it. Now that I'm happy with my piece, I would want to lay a bag gently on top of it to let it dry slowly. And when I come in the next day, I may even want to flip it over on its side to let it dry on the other side. If I wasn't finished with this, I would wrap it up fully in a bag so I can continue on another time. But because I'm happy, I'm going to lightly lay a bag on top of it to let it dry.